May mga kwento na akala mo katang-isip lang. Mga aswang, engkanto, at kung ano-ano pang nilalang na hanggang usapan lang sa gabi. Pero minsan, may mga karanasan na bigla kang papaniwalain kahit ayaw mo. Ito ang kwento ng isang bakasyon na dapat sana'y tahimik at masaya. Pero nauwi sa isang gabing hindi naming makakalimutan. Ako si Kuya Boyongski at ito ay isa sa mga kwento na hindi mo dapat pinapakinggan mag-isa sa gabi. A few years ago, my husband and I booked a place somewhere in Bulacan. I was pregnant with our first daughter at the time, already showing. I do believe in supernatural things, but not to the extent that I ever thought I would actually experience something myself. My husband, on the other hand, barely believes in any of it. I'm also not new to strange experiences. I've had things happen to me before and honestly have a lot of stories I could share. But going back to this one, on the way to the place, we realized we forgot to bring salt for cooking. We stopped at a small roadside talipapa to buy some. We paid around 20 pesos and the vendor handed us a huge plastic bag filled with salt. Not a normal amount. It was kilos worth. Parang bigas. Not isang plastic na small. Malaking plastic na mabigat at puno. We laugh about it while driving away. Sobrang dami. We even joke about what we were supposed to do with that much salt for just 20 pesos. At the time, it just felt like a funny coincidence. When we arrived, the place looked beautiful. It was a small glass house surrounded by trees, very quiet and isolated. But something already felt strange even before we got inside. There were caretakers waiting for us, around 5 of them. All looked close to our age. What felt unsettling was that none of them spoke. Not a greeting, not small talk, not even a smile. They just walked towards us, took our bags, and silently led the way to the Airbnb. The whole time, walang nagsasalita. No expressions, no eye contact. It felt off. My husband and I even exchanged looks because it was so unusual. But we brushed it off, thinking maybe they were just shy or tired. The moment I stepped inside the house, the uneasy feeling got stronger. Walang obvious na mali, but the air felt heavy. Parang may mali even though everything looked normal. Without really thinking about it, I opened the bag of salt and started sprinkling it around the doors, the windows, and even around the bed. My husband asked why I was doing it, and I honestly didn't have an answer. I just said, I felt like doing it. Looking back now, I still don't understand why that was my first instinct. We cooked dinner, tried to relax, and eventually went to bed. Sometime late at night, I heard the faint sound outside. Tick, 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 tick. At first, I told myself it was just insects or branches moving. I stayed still, listening. The sound came again. Slow, rhythmic, fast, no rhythm. Hindi ko maintindihan, but too deliberate to ignore. And I know that tick 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 was fast, very slow at the same time. Hindi ko rin gets. I whispered to my husband that I heard something. He didn't respond right away, and that's when I realized he was already awake. Then we heard wings, heavy, powerful flapping directly above us. Not like a bird passing by, The sound was too big to close. Each flap sounded strong enough that you could almost feel the movement through the roof. My chest tightened. Then came the footsteps. Clear footsteps walking across the Yero roof. Slow, dragging steps moving from one side to the other. Something was up there. Walking, stopping, then walking again. Then occasional sound of long fingernails, sound na kumakamot sa yero sound. I kept whispering that I was scared, and my husband quietly told me to stay still and be quiet. When I turned to look at him, he was lying on his side, already holding a knife in his hand. He had been awake the entire time. That scared me more than the sounds outside, because it meant he had been hearing everything too. Neither of us slept that night. Every small sound made us freeze. Sometimes the footsteps stopped completely, leaving a silence that felt heavier than the noise itself. Then suddenly it would start again, followed by scratching sounds above us. I just lay there, pregnant, trying not to panic, waiting for morning. As soon as daylight came, we packed our things immediately. No breakfast, no hesitation. We left and drove straight home. We had paid for 4 nights but stayed only 1. We rarely talk about it now, but sometimes I still think about the salt. How we randomly forgot to bring it. How the vendor gave us an impossible amount for almost nothing. And how, without understanding why. The first thing I did when we arrived was spread it around the room. Looking back, I honestly felt like there was a reason we were given that much salt. Hanggang ngayon, hindi pa rin alam kung ano talaga nangyari noong gabing iyon. Maaaring may paliwanag o baka wala. Pero sa lahat ng detalye, may isang bagay na hindi malilimutan. Ang asin. Kasi minsan, hindi mo alam kung ang simpleng bagay na hawak mo, yun pala ang magliligtas sa'yo. Salamat sa pakikinig. Muli, ako si Kuya Buyongski. At huwag papakinggan ang kwentong itong mag-isa sa gabi.